Hi, Dunlap students.
We are here today for a super special message from your school counselor.
I'm Mrs. Centers, the school counselor at Banner Elementary.
I am Mrs. Abuhuli, the school counselor at Wilderwaite.
I'm Miss Chapin, the school counselor from Dunlap Grade School.
I'm Mrs. Dando, the school counselor from Ridgeview Elementary School.
I'm Mrs. Thompson, the school counselor from Hickory Grove.
And we are so excited to celebrate something special with you.
This week we are celebrating Unity Day.
Woohoo!
It's gonna be the biggest, the loudest,
the craziest party ever.
Wednesday, October 19th is when students all over the world come together to celebrate unity.
Standing united in kindness, acceptance, and inclusion.
United just means we all stand together.
To say that all kids matter.
And no kid should ever feel bullied.
And how are we celebrating this special day?
We are wearing orange.
Orange socks,
Orange shirts,
Orange shoes.
orange pants,
orange hats.
Orange anything.
Wear orange to show others that you are a kid who will always stand up for kindness.
let's do this.
But why is this day so important to us here in Dunlap?
Well, bullying can be a big issue for kids all over.
Bullying is when someone is being hurtful or mean or aggressive to somebody over and over.
It can make someone feel really badly about themselves.
They might even feel like they don't want to go to school.
Do you know that 1 out of 5 kids say they have been bullied?
That is way too many.
Bullying is different than a kid just being mean or rude.
So how can you know if someone is being just rude or if someone is actually bullying?
Well, you can tell if something is bullying by thinking of the word STOMP.
The what?
Stomp? What are you talking about?
STOMP. STOMP. It's easy.
ST stands for several times. That's because bullying is something that happens more than just one time.
It happens several times.
If someone is unkind to me one time, that isn't bullying.
That's just someone being mean.
If someone laughs at me at recess one time, that isn't being bullied. That's just a kid not being kind. Still not cool, but it's not bullying.
However, if they laugh at me every time I go to recess, that would be bullying.
Next in STOMP is O, one-sided. That means one person is doing all of the hurtful stuff. Usually that person has some power too.
Maybe they are older or faster or more popular. It may feel like they are better than you.
So you're scared to stand up for yourself. That would be bullying.
The next part of STOMP is M, mean. The behavior is mean. It could be mean actions,
Hitting, pushing, shoving, punching, not cool.
But it could also be mean words, name calling, gossiping, rumors.
That lesson is for another time.
It can even be mean attitudes, eye rolling, excluding, making teams or sides against one person.
Also, not cool.
But remember that meanness happens more than just once.
It's over and over.
The last part of STOMP is P, purposeful. That means that the person is hurting somebody else on purpose.
It's not on accident, and that is really hurtful.
If someone is trying to hurt your feelings over and over, day after day, that could be bullying.
Here in Dunlap, it's a diverse community that welcomes all kids.
All kids.
All kids.
All kids.
All kids.
And we are standing together, united.
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 United against bullying this Unity Day.
Okay, so you're wearing orange. How else can you show others that you're a kind community that welcomes all?
Well, on Unity Day, we are going to be celebrating in all kinds of different ways.
And here are some of the ways that you can make a difference for others.
I'm ready.
If you think someone is being bullied, be an upstander.
Up what?
That just means when you see a kid who you think is being bullied, you stand up for them.
Now, this does not mean that you should be mean to that person. Yeah, no fighting.
But it does mean that you can use your words and actions to help a kid in need.
Use your assertive words to tell them to stop.
Stop. That's not okay.
Use a strong voice, but not a yelling voice.
Keep good eye contact.
It's like it's looking into my soul.
And get your friend to a grown-up who can help.
It might be your teacher, playground supervisor, your grown-up at home, even your school counselor.
That's us.
There are a lot of ways to be an upstander.
Try being friends with kids that you don't normally play with.
If you see a kid who looks lonely, ask them to join in.
Hey, want to play tag with us?
You mean it's a yes?
That's a great way to include others. And including others will make our community better.
Another way to be an upstander, don't join in on the mean behavior.
If a kid is making fun of another kid, it can sometimes feel like you want to laugh.
I don't get it.
You might even notice that other kids start to laugh.
But this is not okay.
Be a leader, do not join in.
And have the courage to tell others that they need to stop the mean behavior as well.
Use that strong, assertive voice again and tell them, stop, we are not doing that.
Being an upstander won't always be easy. In fact, it can feel a little uncomfortable to stand up for someone.
But the more often you do it, the easier it will become.
And the safer everyone will feel.
Sometimes these types of situations are too big for kids to handle.
Especially when they happen over and over.
So it's important to know the adults in your life who will always help you out.
Think to yourself right now, who are some grown-ups in my life who always have my back?
Maybe you said mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, a cool aunt or an uncle.
Teacher, principal, a lunch lady, and hopefully you said your school counselor.
Because we are here for you.
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 Okay, so now that you know what bullying looks like, remember STOMP.
And you know how to be an upstander.
But what's next?
How can you be part of Unity Day?
Well, wear your orange, of course.
Also, start brainstorming some ways that you can make our school feel like a safer place for all kids.
The easiest way to make your school a place for all kids is by having empathy for all.
Empathy is when we try to understand how someone else is feeling.
Stand in someone else's shoes. Well, not literally.
That's another way of saying I'm trying to see things from your perspective or your point of view.
When we understand how others feel, we can figure out how to best help and support them.
This actually reminds me of a great book. The book is called Stand in My Shoes by Bob Sorensen.
Let's listen to the book all together.
And see if you can learn some easy ways you can show empathy for our upcoming Unity Day.
Stand in My Shoes by Rob Sorensen. Let's take a listen to the book together. Emily, this is the 4th time you've barged into my room. I'm trying to study for a big test. I just want to talk to you, Emily whined. Alicia closed her book and said, "Can't you have a little empathy?" Emily had no idea what her big sister meant. What's empathy? Empathy is when you understand how someone is feeling because you imagine what it's like to be them or to stand in their shoes. People are grateful when you notice how they feel. I'm worried about my test, and I'd appreciate it if you would scram so I could study. Emily was grumpy as she left her sister's room. She thought about Alicia's words. Would people really appreciate if she noticed how they felt? The next morning, Emily went to the kitchen for breakfast. Her dad was making coffee and had spilled some grounds. He didn't look very happy. "Dad, are you in a hurry?" she asked. "Yes, sweetie. I have a big presentation at work and I need to get going." Emily found a wet dish rag. "You look tired, Dad. How about if I clean up the coffee while you get your other stuff together? Would that help?" For a moment, Emily's dad just looked at her. Then he hugged her. "You're the best, Em," he said as he grabbed his coat and hurried out the back door. It was drizzling outside as Emily waited for the school bus. As it pulled up, one of the older kids accidentally knocked into a little girl as she was getting onto the bus. Rosie lost her balance and sat down hard on the wet cement. "Hey," yelled Emily, "watch out for the little kids." When Emily turned to the little girl, "Well, that's a yucky way to start the day." "I'm okay," Rosie replied, but she struggled with her heavy backpack. Emily took Rosie's hand and pulled her up and then helped her onto the bus. In class, Mrs. Fritsch was not her usual laughing self. After the morning writing lesson, Mrs. Fritsch went back to her desk instead of walking around the classroom like she usually did. Emily noticed that her teacher's eyes were red and that she had wiped her nose on a tissue. "Mrs. Fritsch, is there something wrong?" "Our little dog Buster died last night," she said quietly. "He was very sick, and we were hoping that he would get better, but he didn't." "Oh no," said Emily. "I'm not sure how you feel, but it has to hurt." "It does. Thank you for asking." In the cafeteria, she noticed that Mrs. Waddles struggling to lift a heavy tray of steamed vegetables into its place on the serving line. "That sure looks heavy," Emily said. "It is," Mrs. Waddles said. "I get a workout every day when I serve lunch." "That's quite a load of stuff," Emily said to Mr. Redmond as he pushed the cart down the hallway. "I just hope I don't run somebody over." Emily decided to walk in front of the cart, yelling a loud, clear voice, "Coming through! Art cart coming through!" "Get out of my way," Tommy said as he pushed Samantha, Emily's friend, out of the line. "It's my turn." Tommy did this a lot at recess. "Tommy, how'd you like it if I pushed you out of line while you were waiting for your turn?" Probably not good," Tommy replied. "I love the tire swing." "Samantha loves it as much as you do, so don't push her and try to take cuts, okay?" "Sorry," mumbled Tommy as he was walking to the end of the line. After school, Mr. Peterson said, "Hello, Emily. I hope you had a wonderful day." She stopped and looked at him. "I did have a wonderful day, Mr. Peterson. Every day you say something nice to me. You never forget." As she walked to her seat, Emily could hear Mr. Peterson greet every child as they got on the bus. She sat down next to Samantha. When the seats were almost full, Rosie rushed onto the bus out of breath. "Oh no, there isn't a place for me." Emily nudged Samantha and then asked her to slide over. "Rosie, you can sit with us." "I can? Thanks." When Emily got home, her mom asked, "How was your day, Em?" "You look deep in thought." "I'm fine, but I'm wondering about something." "What's that?" "You always seem to notice how I'm feeling." "Part of being a mom." "But how about you? Who notices how you're feeling?" asked Emily. "Wow, Em," asked her mom. "That's a very thoughtful question." "I guess the answer is Aunt Carla and my friends, Nancy and Shauna, and mostly your dad, sometimes Alicia, and now you. Why do you ask?" "Just wondering," said Emily. "I'm starving. Is there anything good for a snack?" "Let's make something together." It was almost bedtime. Emily could see Alicia studying in her bedroom. Instead of barging in, Emily knocked on the door. "Can I come in, or are you busy?" "You look like you want to talk," said Alicia. "Come on in." "I've been noticing how people feel," Emily said. "You know, that empathy stuff." "So what happened? What did you learn?" "People really like it when you recognize how they feel. Just noticing seems to touch their hearts." "You got it, Em." "But there's something more. When I care enough to notice how others feel, something changes inside of me," Emily explained. "It sounds like you enjoy that feeling." "Yes, I do," replied Emily. "Good. Now get out of here so I can study."
Wow, that book was full of ways that you can show empathy.
Hug someone who looks sad.
Help someone who is hurt.
Make room for someone on the bus.
Let someone else have the first turn.
There are so many easy ways to show empathy every day.
And that's what unity looks like.
Including others, showing kindness, and helping someone in need.
So join us this Unity Day in wearing orange.
Help make the Dunlap school community a kind and inclusive place to be.
And say no to bullying.
Because here in Dunlap, everyone belongs.
Everyone matters.
And everyone is worthy.
We cannot wait to see how you're going to show empathy in Unity Day.
Make sure to share with us all the amazing things that you decide to do.
Until next time, bye Dunlap.
Bye, Dunlap.
Bye, Dunlap.
Bye, Dunlap.
Bye, Dunlap.